A Pap test is an examination to check for abnormal cells in the cervix. The cervix is a lower part of the uterus connected to the inside of the vagina. Cancer can develop in this area, and this is known as cervical cancer or cancer of the cervix. Cervical cancer can take many years to develop. First, healthy cells begin to change and become abnormal. Over time, these abnormal cells can eventually become cancerous. For this reason, it is important for all women to have Pap tests regularly. Every day in the U.S., 35 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer. And every day, 12 women will die from it. A Pap test can discover cancer early when it can be easily treated. When cancer is found early or localized, the number of women surviving 5 years is much higher than if it is diagnosed late or in distant stages. A Pap test can also identify changes in the cells before they turn into cancer. These cells can then be treated and cancer prevented. Human papillomavirus, or HPV infection, is very common in both men and women and is spread by sexual or intimate skin-to-skin contact. You are at greater risk of HPV infection if you had sex at an early age, have had multiple sexual partners, or are with someone who has had multiple sexual partners. Some types of HPV can cause cancer of the cervix, vagina, and vulva in women, and cancer of the penis in men. In both men and women, the virus can cause cancer of the mouth, throat, and anus. The good news is that high-risk cancer-causing types of HPV can now be prevented with a vaccine. It is recommended in girls and boys aged 9 to 12. For adolescents and young adults who have not yet received the vaccination, it is recommended up to the age of 21 for men and to the age of 26 for women. While age is a factor, everyone is at risk. There are other factors. In the U.S., most women diagnosed with cervical cancer are between the ages of 35 and 54. Infection with a high-risk HPV type puts you at higher risk of developing cervical cancer. Early-age sexual activity, having multiple partners, or being with a partner who had or has multiple partners increases your risk. If you are a smoker, your risk of cervical cancer doubles. Women who have had more than 3 full-term pregnancies and women who become pregnant under age 17 are at higher risk. Most women who get cervical cancer do not have a family history of cancer. But if your mother or sister had cervical cancer, the likelihood of you developing it can triple. Screening for cervical cancer is particularly important in this region because Hispanic women, women living in rural areas, and women living on the border have higher rates of this type of cancer. Women aged 21 to 65 should have a Pap test every 3 years. Women 30 to 65 have the option of getting tested every 5 years if they include HPV testing. Women who have had a hysterectomy should talk to their doctor about whether they need a Pap test. To help prevent cervical cancer, you can limit your number of sexual partners, practice safe sex, eliminate smoking, and the most important thing you can do is to have Pap tests regularly.